Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Butlale Nompumelelo, and today I have a channeled message for you. I just felt really compelled to come and film outside. I'm currently at the hospital, but I just feel very called to say a message, use my body as a vessel to channel a message for the collective today. Um, Currently, the energy that I'm feeling is odd. It's a very new feeling. I haven't felt a feeling like this before. I've felt something like this before, major changes in my life, but this time it feels very real. It is a very visceral, it's a very physical feeling. So I thought I would use my physical body as well, to really hone in on my channeling abilities outside of me using cards. I don't have my cards currently, and I wish I did, but I'm sure some cards will pop up in my head as I keep doing this. So I will take it as if I would be using the cards. But right now, I'm witnessing a lot of major changes in my life. As I said, I'm at the hospital, and yeah, I've already made a lot of documentation on that on my TikTok. It's not really been a fun experience, but it has taught me so much about myself and about where my life is currently headed. And for the first real message that I have for you as part of my collective or the collective that I usually channel, you are a rock star. You are a legend in the making, or you are a local legend from where you stay or where you've been. People will always remember you. You know, this is one of those things where you grow up as a child feeling quite invisible, but it's not necessarily because people don't know you, it's mostly because they don't know the real you. And that means that you've been surviving life with projections onto you. You know, you are not someone that people come across often. You aren't really someone that people would say, yeah, I have met people like you. Yes, maybe you would know people who would tell you that somebody else reminds them of you, or somebody else has an energy that you have, but you in your totality, nobody has ever seen anything like you before. And that's something that's going to start working out in your favor very, very soon, because I'm seeing it in my personal life. It's working out perfectly well for me. At first, I thought it would make me a loner, it would make me depressed, it would make me unable to make friends. But with the changes that I've been experiencing in my life, I can see that being unique is my gift, and it's the same thing for you in the collective. I'm going to speak mostly as if we are having like a conversation, right? According to the birds, they're outside. Nature is something that's your best friend right now, right? The way that I can say it is because I'm gonna be using my environment and my body as a channel for this message. So whatever comes up, I'm just gonna say it. Whatever thought pops up, I'm just gonna say it. But the birds are one of your messengers. Some of your messengers are going to come from nature. So when you want to manifest something in your life, or when you want to send a message, I actually want to say it like this: your uniqueness is mostly in the fact that you see the world as a mystery that keeps unfolding. You love magic, right? And not magic necessarily like witches in the movies, but magic where it can't be explained by logic. It can't be something that you can make sense of. It has to be something that it comes from feeling, it comes from intention, it comes from spirit, it comes from everything outside of logic, everything outside of the confines and the binaries and the constructs that we live in. You live in a magical reality. You live in your own universe, and spirit, the universe, God, whoever higher power you believe in, they want to show you that your reality is the reality that most people aspire to be in. You might have like doubts, or you feel as though you see the world in a weird way, or the things that you learn from the world aren't the way that people think you're supposed to learn it. People have tried to box you in, people have tried to make you fit into their molds, but you can't, no matter how much you try. Like, this is the experience that I'm having currently, where even if I try to control myself, it doesn't help me to make me something that I don't think I'm even capable of being long term. Maybe it can work for a while, but I mean, I'm sick because of this. And the way that your mind works, your body, your spirit, it's almost as if you are deeply intertwined with the spiritual realm, to such a point where whatever you think you are, your body and your physical reality shows you that manifestation. So if you feel like a dragon one day, your body physically almost shape shifts in the biological sense. It's a weird thing. And for me, as somebody who deconstructs these systems of oppression, I see it as being in the mythic reality that my ancestors lived in, where they believed that people were more than just humans. They were, entities that were gods and goddesses. They had orishas, they had, all types of beings that were more than just human. They were people who could shapeshift and become different types of animals as well. And it's not just something that is limited to African people. It's the general thing about humanity. All cultures, across all cultures, there are entities, deities, gods, goddesses, you know archetypes of beings, the way they walk between worlds. So there's like the Sphinx, for example. It's a cat with the head of a human. Or, different types of entities where they have different body parts. There's mermaids, there's all types of things. And then there's worlds where dragons exist, where giants exist. You are a person that believes in those things, in fantasy, in sci-fi, in all these magical things. And the universe wants you to know that that is your gift. That is, in fact, your superpower for the time that we're heading into, because it is a return to what we are normally used to. I mean, these statues, these pyramids, these cultural artifacts that have been built have been because people genuinely believed that they were real. And it wasn't because they were hallucinating or because that they were psychotic. It was because it genuinely happened that way. Because when we believe something, it becomes real. That's how spirit works. Whatever you believe happens, and you can be whatever you want to be or want to believe. You can be whoever you think you are, because all possibilities exist. We exist in infinite potentiality at all possible moments in time. Time is a construct. It doesn't work from, past to future. It's always present, and whatever happened in the past happened so that the present moment can happen, and the future is always in question. Anything can happen. So we're always in the now, right? And that means that everything that happened with our ancestors, everything that happened before colonization, is still happening right now, because it never really changed or went away. It was just suppressed. It was forced to be exiled. It was forced to be removed from society. I mean, even me speaking about things like this so openly, I'm in a psych ward essentially, and me speaking about them openly is the most radical thing I've been able to do in my life. But this is the time that we're heading into, and it's not something that we really have control over, which is why I said to begin with that this is something that you were going to encounter time and time again, where you think, okay, I thought one thing about my reality, but evidently my body believes something different, or the reality is showing me something different. Every time I think I'm able to control, it doesn't work out the way that I think. So humans have a fundamental issue with control because of how much of a lack of control that we have. But if you accept that and you allow yourself to build a world where you flow, like the ocean, like water. I've been getting really into accepting myself as a body that's close to water. I accept myself as a human being made up of mostly water, just like the earth is made up of mostly water. But because of that, water is my lifeline. Water is the reason that I'm able to heal myself, water in terms of emotions, also in the spiritual sense or in the tarot sense. Water is my life. So I see myself as similar, or if not exactly the same, and deeply connected to the ocean and bodies of water in general. And water doesn't have the ability to control. It takes the shape of whatever is contained, but it doesn't mean that that thing is controlling the water. It means that the water is being held, right? But if the water is being held by a different container, it will take that shape. So it's not being controlled, it is being held. But when it's in its natural form, it is controlled, or it gravitates and is pulled to certain magnetic forces, either from the moon with the tides, or from conscious use of your magnetism, whatever it may be, because we're entering an era where superpowers are going to become more and more prevalent. People are going to become able to do things that were never done before, because the universe wants out of this system of oppression. This isn't something that we wanted for our people. This isn't something that the universe wanted for its creatures. Oppression, in as much as the same creatures who are causing the oppression are also created by the universe, it is antagonistic and it is destroying and self-destructive. And so the universe wants out. So the main message for this, I think I'm going to end it here because I don't want to spend too much time talking and yapping. I don't have, well, I do have the capacity to make a video longer than this, but I think the main message is just superpowers are coming back. And as psychotic as this sounds, I'm sure this is going to land for the right people at the right place at the right time. You just have to believe that you are the magic, you are the wand, you are the one that creates the reality. That doesn't mean that whenever opposition happens, it's because you chose to be opposed. It just means that you are powerful enough to be threatening to people. You are powerful enough for people to want to threaten you with violence, with danger. You are dangerous in how powerful you are. So that's why there's opposition. But otherwise, you are still able to navigate that, knowing that you have all the power that you need within you, right? Because spirit responds to you. There are very few people who are using and wielding this consciously, but the universe wants more and more people to, it's encouraging more and more people to accept this as natural, as inevitable, as cyclical, meaning there's going to be cycles where the power fades and wanes, but then there's going to be cycles where it peaks, highs and lows. I'm sure if you're on this channel, you already understand those things. These are very complex and advanced levels of mastery, where you do understand that the field that you're working with, or the people, or the places that you are magnetizing to or magnetized by, they don't always respond immediately or with effect, but they do respond to nature's rhythms and nature's flows. And as soon as you are able to get into flow with that, your magic works instantly. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was just a short, channeled message, whatever. And if you want to book like a reading or you want to have a session with me, let me know. I'll put my details, my email in the bio. But I hope you are good, and I'll see you in another video very, very soon. Hopefully, I'll be out of here. And as usual, fuck the system. The revolution will not be televised, ho.